there, Coach Devin here. I have been seeing a lot of stuff on social media lately from ladies, women out there, who are hashtagging look like J-Lo. There's a lot of that stuff going on out there. A lot of people are like, hey, those are my body goals. I want to look like J-Lo. And, it got me thinking a little bit about the fact that people want to look like J-Lo, and how healthy is that to say you want to look like J-Lo? Is that really your body goals? Now, I know some people probably right now are saying to me, Devin, what the hell do you know about that? You don't want to look like J-Lo, which is true. I do not want to look like J-Lo. My interest in looking like J-Lo is zero. I obviously don't want to look like J-Lo. But I do get the whole, you want to look like, have a body like so-and-so. I get that. I'm with you because I've been through that. I've 100% been that person. I'm with you. You want to look like J-Lo? I'll tell you some of my backstory. I in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, I got interested in fitness. I got interested in bodybuilding. And you know what? I wanted to look like the guys that were out there then. So you know what? People are saying I want to look like J-Lo and that's my body goal. I didn't know what a hashtag is. A hashtag didn't exist back in the day when I was a kid. And for me, I wanted to look like, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll throw out some shots. That's the look I wanted. I wanted to be Arnold. Or I wanted to look like a guy like Kevin Levrone. That's the kind of like, that's the stuff I was looking at. Back in those days, obviously no internet. We weren't, I wasn't able to look at my phone and say, okay, this is what I want and this is what I'm looking for. I had to look at magazines. That's about all you had. We had Flex magazine and Muscle and Fitness and Muscle Mag International. That's what we had, and that's what I looked at. So I get the body goal side of things. I understand that you want it. I get it. However, what I'm here to tell you is I spent a lot of time in my life chasing a goal that I will say now, in retrospect, is first off not really attainable for me. And second off, it really was a dead end. In the end of the day, it was a dead end. It wasn't something that, if I got it, I would even know what to do with it. So to give you a little bit of idea of this, I was in my, teens and, early 20s, I guess, but mostly in my teens. I wanted to look like those bodybuilders. I wanted to be jacked. I wanted to be big. And my thought process obviously was my life will be better if I look like those guys. There was a time in my life that I thought if I could squat 315 pounds, that would mean that I was big, strong. I looked like my heroes are the Arnold Schwarzeneggers, etc. of the world. And lots of girls would like me and I'd be good at sports. Once I could squat 315, guess what? That stuff did not materialize. Why didn't it materialize? Because squatting 315 has nothing to do with whether or not you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's the deal. I'm never going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. He's a genetic freak. It's never going to happen. I'm never going to look like Kevin Levrone in his prime because I'm not Kevin Levrone. He's a genetic freak. I'm an average guy. Can I get fit? Yes. Can I change my body? Yes. I think I've done overall pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. But it took a long time and a lot of hard work and dedication, not on the training side of things, but in the mindset to feel better about myself and not beat myself up saying, I want this or I want that somebody else has. Look, even into my early to mid 30s, probably, 32, 33 years old, I didn't like what I looked at in the mirror. I didn't like how I looked and I beat myself up. I'm like, why can't I look like that? I will train harder. I will eat more. I'll do this and that and the other. I tried steroids. You do all those things. And at the end of the day, I got to tell you, without a mindset change and being happy with what I had with my body never really got, to the point where I would even get to the point where I was, fit and happy with it. Now I look at myself, I'm pretty comfortable with it. Yes, there's things I would change. Everybody has body issues, 110%. We all got them. It's okay. But it took me into my 30s before I got to the point where I was comfortable. And I said to myself, you know what? This is ridiculous. Stop beating yourself up over stuff that doesn't matter. You're not Arnold. You're not Kevin Levrone. Dude, stop it. It took that long. Okay? Now, back in those days, I didn't know like I said, there's no hashtags, no Instagram, no Facebook. Really, there was hardly any internet. And I was not inundated with this stuff. I had to go search it out myself. And that Probably much more healthy. Let's be honest, it's probably much more healthy. Nowadays, it's in your face all the time. So I understand. I commiserate with women out there who are looking at J-Lo. And I'm going to throw up some pictures of J-Lo like this. And J-Lo like this. And J-Lo like this. She's in her 50s. We all can agree that J-Lo is super fit. She looks like $1 million. She looks like $1 million for a 22-year-old. She looks fantastic for a 50-year-old. Hell, you know what? Most women in the world, to an extent, obviously some people are not going to want it. However, lots of women would say, I want to have that body. But, and this is a big but, you got to remember, J-Lo is no different than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, do they look different? Yes. Are they both genetic freaks? Yeah, they are. J-Lo is a freak of nature. Genetically, she's a freak of nature. Is she a hard worker? Yes. Does she eat well? Obviously. But she also has genetics on her side that the rest of us just don't have. Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger had, just like Kevin Levrone had. That's the way this is. Now, that's the first part I want you to keep in mind. You're comparing yourself to someone who's a freak of nature. That comes along once in, 100,000, 200, 500,000 births that someone has the genetic potential to do the stuff that J-Lo has done. And you know what? Like Arnold, like Kevin Levrone, like whoever, like any sports athlete, it's a very minuscule number of people. Number two, though, she's rich as hell. It is easy to be fit if you don't really have to, go to work every day. Look, it's easier for me to be fit than it is for you to be fit by the simple fact that I own a gym and I can go to the gym. I'm in the gym every day. So, you know what? If I skip the gym from laziness, I got to go to work. So, come on now. How hard is it really for me to put in half an hour? It's not. So, there are times it's stressful for me. I got lots of stuff to do at work. Blah, 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 blah. I can make a million excuses just like you can make a million excuses, but it's easier for me because I don't have to go to my job for 8, 10, whatever hours and then go to the gym. I'm already at the gym. It's easier. I get that. I understand it. I'm in a position that a lot of other people aren't in. It's much, much easier for me. But I put in a lot of hard work and dedication, which is why I think I'm pretty fit. I'm happy with the way I look. The thing to remember with the J-Lo is when you're saying hashtag body goals on J-Lo, guess what? J-Lo probably has a personal trainer 5 days a week. That's expensive. That's what I do for a living. It's expensive. Yes, some people can afford that. Will you get the same results? I can give you really damn good results. But will I get the results that J-Lo gets? Probably not. Now that sounds bad, right? Like, well, Devin, what, you're not confident in yourself? I'm confident in myself, but J-Lo probably has a chef too. So she has somebody making her food, and her food is healthy. She probably eats on a very regimented diet plan because of the fact that she's eating certain macros at certain times. She doesn't overeat. J-Lo is not out eating Ritz while she's making supper at night like lots of the rest of us do. And you know what? That's me. If I'm hungry and I'm home and there's crackers, I'm going to eat them. That's just a fact. It happens. We all do it sometimes. It's okay. However, J-Lo has a one-up. She's genetically, she is going to be superior to the rest of us. Just like Arnold is more superior than the rest of us genetically for muscle. He can grow muscle more easily. Yes, he takes steroids, but he can grow muscle more easily. Number two, they're both rich. J-Lo, I don't know who's more rich than Arnold or J-Lo, but when Arnold was coming up, he had no family. His job was bodybuilding. That was his job. That's what he did. How fit could you be if your whole job was to eat and work out? Pretty damn fit. You would be very fit. I would be fitter if my whole job was to eat and work out and I had no other stresses in my life. That's all I did. And on top of that, you go, okay, well, not only those two things, but you got a chef that's going to cook your food for you. You got people who are going to give you massages. You have athletic trainers that are going to stretch you so you don't get injured. They got all those things lined up for them. So what I'm trying to say on this is be happy with what you have. You got to get into a mindset where you're happy with what you have. It's important because you know what? Otherwise you'll spend the rest of your life beating yourself up about what you don't have. And that's no fun. Nobody wants that. You don't want to look back when you're 40, 50, 60, whatever age and say, man, I looked a lot better. I think I looked actually pretty good when I was 30, 40, whatever, 50. You don't want to look back and say that stuff and go, man, I look great. I thought I looked like crap. Lots of people do that thing. I have clients that do that. They get in better shape and they keep beating themselves up. They don't like the shape that they're in. And then 6 months later, they go, you know what? I was in pretty good shape back then. I should have enjoyed it more. Yes, you should have. Be happy with the body you have. Do you have goals? Sure. Do you want to get more fit? Done. Do it. 100%. I'm always be on board with people who want to be more fit. That's what I do for a living. It's my passion. I love it. And I love helping people get more fit. But don't compare yourself to anybody else. It doesn't matter. You don't want J-Lo's body. Because J-Lo's body with your head would look kind of weird. Arnold's body with my head look kind of weird. Nobody wants that. You just want to be the best version of you can be. So go out and be the best version of you can be. Enjoy what you have. You only get one body. Enjoy it. You can do amazing things with it if you just put in time, energy, and hard work. I promise you, you can look like $1,000,000. If you have comments, questions, things you want me to talk about, I'd love to hear from you. Type them up down below. Send me a message, whatever. I like to hear those things. A lot of these videos are done specifically because someone says, hey, Devin, what do you think of? And then I go, I do think about that. And this is what I think of it. And then I do a video. It happens. So, you know what? If you have a question, a comment, a concern, something you think I'm an idiot, you think I'm not an idiot, whatever, put it out there. I'd love to hear from you. I love to hear from people who share my passion for fitness. People who don't share my passion for fitness is all good. I just like to hear from people, and I want to help. I've been in this industry in fitness for almost 26, going on 27 years now. And I should say almost 26. It's actually been almost 27. It's a long time. I love to share. The whole point of this YouTube video is to share information, help you out, and give you some better perspectives, hopefully, so you don't make the dumb mistakes that I've made over the years. Have yourself an amazing day, everybody. Don't fight the awesome.